Hello class, this is Scott Bragg. I'm recording this short video to orient you on a few things to be familiar with when calculating out creatinine clearance. So these are a couple of good formulas to know. Factoring in somebody's ideal body weight. So this is going to vary for women and men. So think for ideal body weight calculation for women, that's going to be 45.5 plus 2.3 times their height greater than 5 feet. So if they were 5.5, I would times that by 5 to get my ideal body weight in a woman. Contrast that with the male patient, it's going to be 50 plus 2.3, again, times my number of inches over 5 feet. So if I have a male patient that is 5'10", it's going to be times 10 inches. So, and then that will help me calculate out the patient's ideal body weight. So a few things to remember when factoring in the weight that you use for the CrCl formula, which is one of the formulas that I want you all to remember and have down pat for the exam and in general your career. So when to use what weight? If the actual body weight is less than the ideal body weight that you just calculated out, this is a situation where we would always use the actual body weight. However, if a patient's ideal body weight is within, their actual body weight is above their ideal body weight, but within 130%, that would be a situation where commonly we're going to use the calculated out ideal body weight to estimate a patient's creatinine clearance with the CrCl formula. Another instance happens occasionally where we have to factor in a patient's dosing body weight. So a good example of when you would need to do that, when calculating out creatinine clearance for a patient on unfractionated heparin. That's a really good example. Or when commonly factoring in aminoglycoside dosing, so amikacin, gentamicin, tobramycin, I would factor in my dosing body weight. To calculate my dosing body weight, this is just going to be a formula where I'm going to take 0.4 and I'm going to times that by the difference of my actual minus my ideal. And mind you, this is going to be in kilograms. And then I'm going to add that to my ideal. So in this situation, I might have a patient that weighs 100 kgs, their ideal body weight is only 50 kgs, and I'm going to take the difference between 150 to figure in what my dosing body weight is going to be. In a couple of rare situations, we will actually use actual weight. A good example is daptomycin, vancomycin is another great example. Another really good one is the direct-acting oral anticoagulants, such as dabigatran, rivaroxaban, and apixaban. That's a situation where commonly we factor in an actual body weight. I do have two special situations here to factor in. So a patient with low serum creatinine. One thing that has been historically taught is we would round a patient's serum creatinine up to 0.7 or 1. This is not a practice that I would advocate because it tends to falsely underestimate a patient's true creatinine clearance. Another special situation is AKI. So you cannot essentially figure out with CrCl what a patient's creatinine clearance is if they're in a state of AKI because they're not at steady state. So these formulas really are predicated on a patient has stable serum creatinine for you to be able to calculate out a creatinine clearance. Thank you for viewing this video, and in the subsequent video I'll actually walk through a problem when figuring out how to use the CrCl formula.